Alright fellas, October is here, which means Halloween time. So I'm gonna rank every vampire in Roblox games. You guys know the drill. Without further ado, let's begin. I want to be perfectly honest with you, this bet kinda sucks. The moves are slow and predictable, like you have to really get close to your opponents to land a hit. Not to mention your Space Ripper's Stingy Eyes never hits and is easily dodgeable. The cooldown's a bit short, so that's nice, but other than that, there's really nothing going for Vampire other than using a Vampire Mask to get my boy Cars. So for a Bizarre Days Vampire, I'm gonna put it in F tier. Just to get Vampire with the world is much better. Yeah, pretty much the same here. This spec also sucks. Man, we're off to a rough start here. For starters, the moveset is really limited with only 4 moves. Well, actually 3, because one of them doesn't even do anything since it was removed. Like, at least replace it with something. The Life Drain move is somewhat decent, and the rest are just meh. Legit, any stand could be a vampire user with ease. Also, can I mention the fact that you can die from the sun if you go outside? Okay, here's a little rant coming up. I think the whole sun feature is cool and unique, but when the whole ability becomes affected by this, that's when a problem arrives. YBA did a good job with this by adding an umbrella tool that's pretty cheap to buy. And A Bizarre Day didn't even add that feature. So for that, I'm gonna put him in the F tier. Not being biased, just saying what I have to say. I actually like YBA's Vampire. YBA specs are a bit controversial right now due to the rework having a lots of moves, and honestly, I think Vampire desperately needs it. The one thing I love about the new spec reworks is that you don't have to use all of the skill points for a move. For example, I'll be using Vampire because of the video, but there's a couple moves that you can just straight up ignore spending skill points on for your build. Like the Zombie Creation move. It's a pretty useful move at times, but you don't really need it in your kit unless you really want it. Same with the Superhuman Barrage move. It's a good move, but you don't really need it. Now onto the Vampire spec itself. It basically checks out. You got the barrage, projectile, counter, health move, and somewhat of a strong punch if you count the Zombie Creation move, but that can vary. Ability of Death is a must spend move, alright. You can basically use as a Vampire spec on its own if you want. It's a great support spec for your stand build. The only problem I have with the spec is the sunburning feature, but that isn't much of a problem due to the umbrella and the amount of skill points you need to spend, which can really depend on your stand build. So for YBA's Vampire, I'll be putting it in A tier. This ability made me sad because I actually like the ability. I think the premise is cool, the movesets are wonderful to look at. It's just the combat is so meh. I feel like this spec is supposed to be like basic Hamon, where it's not supposed to be a good because there's something better coming soon that you'll need it for. Cards. And it sucks because I really want to enjoy using this ability, but the best I can do is half of someone's health before getting obliterated. You guys think this is fun? Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to put it in D tier. TB2's Part 1 Dio is alright. You guys probably noticed, but for those that are new, I don't really do rank in TB2. I'm kind of a main game arena kind of guy. The base form of Part 1 Dio is pretty solid with a solid barrage and a few slungs move, which really comes in handy when things are crowded. Space Ripper's Stingy Eyes is a nice projectile move, although it can be perfect blocked, so watch out for that. This freeze move is pretty decent. It can bypass block and it's pretty good for combos. And the zombie horde is amazing when you're playing in the main game, although they're pretty easy to kill. Also, there's a blood suck move. That's all I have to say. The awakening is a tad bit of a downgrade as your fierce lung is replaced with a freeze counter, which in of itself doesn't last long. Your zombie horde is replaced with zombie knights who are brute force and Tarkus. They're cool, it's just that they have low health and can be beaten easily. So for TB2's Part 1 deal, I'm gonna have to put them in B tier. Pretty solid, just wish the awakening was improved a bit. A Bizarre World's Rewritten's Vampire is pretty decent. The moveset is good, with each move dealing pretty good damage and having a relatively low cooldown. My only problem with Vampire is that some moves like Ground Slam and Kick are really hard to land unless your opponent is like standing still or like really close, which in combat situations is a bit tough. And that's really about it. So for A Bizarre's World Rewritten's Vampire, I'll be putting it in B tier. Yeah, solid ability to use. Alright, I'm gonna try my best not to be biased here, but you guys know that I heavily dislike this game. So in the Jojo Game's Vampire has a unique moveset with a literal assault zombie beatdown, but that doesn't help me win at all because I suck at the game. So at least I got 1 kill though. That's really it for this ability. I'm gonna have to put it in C tier. Could be good, but I just suck at the game. This is the first time that crazy adventure is being featured, and the Vampire spec in the game is alright. Vampire in itself is just like old YBA Vampire with 3 moves being Freeze, Bloodsuck, and Space Ripper's Stingy Eyes. Regarding grinding, it's kind of hard to land Freeze and Bloodsuck. It's probably me sucking the game, but I digress. Space Ripper's Stingy Eyes also just doesn't hit the opponent at times, which gets pretty annoying. Overall, TCA's Vampire is a decent support spec to use, and for that, I'll be putting TCA's Vampire in C tier. You know, since this is somewhat of a Halloween special, I'm gonna just add Mihawk, cause why not? Heaven's Arena Mihawk is part of the characters pack, which you can buy for 200 Robux. And as you can guess, I didn't buy it. I'm broke, but I can use Mihawk in training mode, and so far I am enjoying it. The moves are pretty good, and I really love the moves that uses Yoru. And since I'm doing this in training mode, there is no rating for Mihawk. I'm using him in training mode. But for fun, I'll be putting Mihawk in A tier, because I like Mihawk. Mihawk is cool. Don't question Mihawk. And that is all for this video, and now that you've reached the end, this is the final tier list. Let me know if you have any disagreements with this tier list, because in the end, this could be different from person to person. And let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite vampire to use and why. That is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.